Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Mind your business. Only on Money FM 89.3.
Welcome to Mind Your Business. Today we're joined by a husband-wife power duo who are running separate businesses of their own. Mark Lee is a notable business leader who serves as the CEO of Singlun Holdings, a privately owned enterprise specializing in industries, investments, and real estate, and was honored with the EY Family Business Award of Excellence in 2018. Mark also serves as a nominated member of Parliament currently. Mark, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to be here again.
It's always great to have you in the studio with us, Mark. And joining Mark is Keak, Managing Director of MTM Skincare Singapore, who took over the reins from her mother back in 2017. And she's also a second-generation philanthropist. Kelly, welcome.
Good morning, Audrey. Good morning, everyone.
It's great to have you both on with us today. You know, a power couple here to tell us how you guys do it all and juggle it all as well. So we'll start with you, Kelly. So taking over MTM Skincare from your mother was a pretty big step, I imagine. So can you tell us about your decision to take the helm back then, and what concerns did you have at the time?
I guess I started really young. After school, I'm always in the beauty center with her, and it is since so long ago. And my mom has been in this for over 40 years. So since young, I have just been, being there with her growing up. So I guess it becomes something natural for me to take this path. But in 2017, when I took over, that was when my mom starts to be a little bit not feeling that well, and I was doing something else. I was in insurance, actually. And she said, why not? Do you want to come back to help me? So when that happens, and with that call, I thought, okay, why not? Let's get back with some of my experience, putting it in place, and that's how it all became history.
Wow. Yeah, so how have the challenges of running a beauty business changed over the years that you've seen?
Customers' expectations have changed greatly. They are not only just concerned about the high quality products, but also the experiences that they have with the brands. So I guess to stay ahead of the curve, we have to always explore some of the latest technology to help us to improve not only just on experience, but also on results. And last year, I actually brought in the AI-assisted skin analysis to help our customers to do a better consultation. And not only that, I also brought in an AI robotic arms into the business, so it can help effectively treat our customers not only just on the face, but when they are having a good time on their face, their tummy is also worked on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's important to keep up with these industry trends like AI, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Mark, let's hear about your journey now. You know, it also began with a family business. So when you were set to succeed your father as CEO of Singlun Holdings, you called for a meeting with major shareholders, right? Your uncles and your aunts, who gave you a 10-year time frame for the transition. That sounds very stressful, Mark. So how did you navigate that responsibility, and what goals were you expected to achieve?
Yeah, thanks, Audrey. So actually, I called for a meeting twice in my life with all my family members. The first was actually 25 years ago when I joined the business. And essentially, I wanted to align the vision of the company together with them, as well as acknowledge really their contributions of what they have done for us. And you have to understand, 25 years ago, my eldest uncle, who we love dearly, was already 56. So he just turned 81 last year.
Wow.
So at that time, 25 years ago, I have family members who have really grown the business, set a platform for me, but they have differing views of what they want to do going forward, right? In 10 years, some of them would want to retire. Some of them wanted to maybe take some money out because the kids were growing up or going to school. So the parameters were set pretty clear. They told me, Mark, you've got 10 years. Please build your own team because I'm going to fade out quietly into the sunset nicely as well, but you need to build your own team. And they did actually set a clear directive that, look, as family members, we all depend on the company for dividends as income, right?
That's a lot of pressure, Mark.
Yeah. So we need to fix a certain sum of dividend that you have to dividend out every single year.
Yep.
And if you do really well, we'll still, you build the reserves. It's like building a country, right? You build that reserves that could be carried on for the next generation. But if you don't do so well, we're going to deplete the reserves. So it was actually a very interesting challenge for me as well.
Got it. But were they pretty hands-off with how you were going to run the business? They just gave you the responsibility and they said, you do what you need to do to keep it moving?
Yeah, so that's a really interesting question because I had to really think very seriously about how I'm going to manage risk and grow the company at the same time. And because there was differing expectations, that's where I decided, look, we're going to manage this by dividing the company into two parts. One was and we started building a family office which held all the different sets of businesses so that we could spin off the different sets of business and literally manage each of the businesses' risk with different shareholders, with different ways of structuring. But we basically ring-fence the family office to ensure that we achieve that obligations that I've already promised the family.
Yeah. Okay, so running a family business can come with some unique challenges. And I want to hear from you both, but Kelly, we'll have you start this one. What would you say has been the most difficult part of managing this dynamic?
I think it would be managing the expectations because they have been in the business for so long and they have their own sets of rules and ways of how they manage the people. So when I came in and to take over, it is really about having a right balance between the professional and the personal relationship.
Yeah.
Because it can be so close and it can also be really damaging if you are not putting it correctly. So we tend to put our emotions aside as best as we could. But I feel that the traditional approach of my parents has also provided a strong foundation to the business. But yet I also have to learn to earn their trust to bring in and implement innovations to keep us competitive.
Yeah, so tradition versus innovation. Mark, what about you? You spoke about differing expectations as well.
Yeah. So I would say that I call it the ABCs, challenges. I think the first is when a young person comes into, and I've interacted with enough family businesses as my role in the Chinese Chamber Youth Wing, as well as SBF, in the Young Business Leaders Network. And I hear many differing issues that young people actually face. I think the first is that many young successors, they come in, I see that they sometimes fail to acknowledge the past and respect the legacy that was built, right? Because many of the patriarchs has built the business with their team, and they have their own lieutenants, generals running the business, and sometimes not enough credit or respect has been given to them. So don't try to change everything at one time, right?
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't try to change everything and think that everyone's outdated. I think the second one is, of course, the fact that some patriarch, they actually appoint a successor, but they are unwilling to let go. Right? So they are not building the unity and clear roles, the B part of it, building that unity. They don't rally around the successor. They don't give the successor enough bandwidth or leeway to basically build his own team as well as make his own decisions. And when the old team starts complaining, then the decisions get overridden. That is a problem.
Okay.
And of course, the third part is actually C, which is committing to a balance, right? As a family business, you can be family-owned, but you need to be professionally run, right? So it doesn't mean that a family business needs to be run by family members. You can be family-owned, but family-run with family values. And that's where I feel that many businesses, family-owned businesses, they kind of blur the line, and you need to basically find that balance.
Yeah, so some great points there. And you brought up successorship, which I think is pretty interesting. So Kelly, we know that you've placed, a strong emphasis on grooming young leaders in your company. And in such a competitive industry, what qualities do you believe set exceptional young leaders apart? Are you hoping some of them will eventually take over from you?
If the right one comes, why not, right? I'm always happy to pass the baton. But in MTM, we actually groom our people in a very different way. Every 2 months, we actually traditional Chinese culture that we will share with our people, because we always believe that it is important to start them with the right values. The root is important.
Yeah.
So no matter how capable they are, if their heart is not in the right place, it will not be good for our people and even our customers. So emphasis is always there, and we must learn to also trust them. It's not easy to take that approach, but if you just give them enough time and allow mistakes to happen, that bond will be built over time. And I feel that in the last few years, especially after COVID, so I was telling my mom, I'm coming in such a challenging time. In 2017, where I thought, I've took over a bed of roses, and then boom, 2019, everything went haywire.
Oh.
So it was like coping and managing.
Yeah.
So time flies. It has been how long already? Coming 7 years. So I guess my parents allow me to make mistakes, and I grow from there. So likewise to my young leaders, it is also pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's just lifelong learning as you continue with the business. And both of you lead demanding separate businesses. And Mark, you also have responsibilities as an NMP as well. So how do you balance all of these commitments, with family life and with work and with other roles as well?
It's always a juggling act.
Yeah.
Many years ago, I was in a conference and I heard a CEO of a big insurance company speak, and I was actually quite taken by what he said. He said that he doesn't do as much or as many dinners anymore or speak that many, and he doesn't do many speaking engagements as much as before, especially when he had a family, because he said, in your family, you're the only CEO they have. But when there is a conference or there is a dinner, if you don't go, there will be other CEOs waiting
in the wings.
Yeah, waiting in the wings. So he basically said, choose very carefully and plan your time very carefully and determine where do you really want to put your efforts and time to. But in your family, you are the only CEO that they can turn to. They can't fire you, or nor can they do anything. And I remembered that. So I basically blocked time off. That my sabbatical time with my kids, my wife, we basically try very hard to keep date nights.
That's excellent.
Yeah. And I block off time alone with my boys, one-on-one. I tend to do one-on-ones because I felt that it takes time to bond with them, especially when they hit a certain age. Of course, I also take time to basically spend time understanding, talking to my colleagues as well, my team. And I think there's a lot of trust, like what Kelly has said, that we need to build with the team. And there's a lot of delegations and aligning interests. We basically treat our team members and colleagues literally as family.
Yeah.
And I think that's one part of being a family-owned business. But I believe that these professionals are really running it well.
Yeah. So lots of words of wisdom already from you, Mark. But what other advice would you offer to young entrepreneurs about handling the pressures of managing a business alongside family expectations?
I think the why you're doing it must be very clear to you. For me, I've always, and I think my wife knows this quite well, making money is important. I follow the money. But at the same time, I also follow the fact that as a family, do we want to deploy the money to do good for the community and do good for the people within the businesses as well. I think even as we try to build a family-friendly Singapore to support families to have more children, I think family businesses are usually understated, or SMEs are actually understated in their contributions to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and for Kelly, I'm going to give you the last word here. What qualities do you think today's business leaders need to succeed in such a fast-paced environment?
Resilience is key. It's just changing so fast, and we always have to handle with all the unexpected challenges. So being adaptable and to keep onto your focus is important. But I also feel that business leaders now are not easy to be because of all the different roles that we have to be working on. But never forget to give back. That's very, very important. And from a woman's perspective, I feel that when you have set your priorities, like for me, family will come first and the rest will actually follow through. So even while I give back, I like to have my family and my children involved. It's we just try to have like one stone kill as many birds as we can, right? You know, you want to do good, you want to build the bond, that time together, and we want to bring them to cultivate the right values to grow up with. So I guess we just have to multitask along the way.
Yeah.
More importantly, have a good mentor to guide you, and also have a role model because it would help you to set your path along the way.
Okay, yeah, so choose and pick your priorities wisely, you know, from the importance of grooming future leaders to navigating family expectations. Your stories are a testament to the resilience and adaptability required to succeed in today's world. Thank you again, both of you, for joining us today.
No, thank you for
so
having
much.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with Mark Lee, CEO of Sing Lun Holdings and nominated Member of Parliament, and Kelly Keak, Managing Director of MTM Skincare Singapore. Keep it here on Money FM 89.3.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.